I've been fortunate to understand how important caregivers are in our community, in our society, to help people that, in the cases mostly of cancer patients, cancer survivors, but the caregivers are the unsung heroes. And tonight, for the first time as far as we know, we're honoring and recognizing those people that are taking care of their family, but they also may be paid professional caregivers. They may be volunteer caregivers, and of course their family caregivers. So it's really exciting to be able to bring something that recognizes what they do.
I'm very happy to be here tonight for this great fundraising event for the Wellness Community Center. I'm here with my wife Paula, who has been a cancer nurse for more than 30 years, and we've been fighting the battle, and I really appreciate the work that's done by the caretakers and the professionals who are engaged in it. And this center will be a place to help people, not just the patients, but their families. And it's so important to acknowledge and support the people that are affected by cancer, because it doesn't just attack the patients, it attacks our community, it attacks the families.
The people here tonight is really an amazing group of people. It's not just about the people that we're honoring. It really is about service. It's about what we can do for each other. How do we help each other? That's how the world balances itself, I think, is that when someone's in need, someone else steps up and offers a hand, and that's really what we do.
We're very happy that the wellness community is coming to San Jose. It is the 10th largest city in the country now, and it doesn't have a good cancer support organization here. So we felt that it was really time that San Jose had a nice cancer support organization like the wellness community.
Now, what the wellness community will do is give support on an regular ongoing basis to those caregivers, so that when they're, stressed out because the person they're giving care to is not having a good day, they have other people they can go to and talk to, and our programs are facilitated by licensed therapists, so people are getting really not only personal contact with other caregivers, but they're getting real help. And I think that's what's made this an exciting event for us to be able to be part of, starting not only the wellness community, but this recognition for caregivers that's so much needed.
I was asked tonight to present the 2008 Gold Star Business Award, and I'm honored to do so. I had the pleasure of working with this company during the time that my husband Rusty was surviving cancer. He would take over 25 medications per day, and at home we'd have a computer grid telling us what strength the medication was, when to take it, and so on. And we'd refill the medication, and then I'd run to an unnamed pharmacy 2 or 3 times a week. As a caregiver with so many other needs that my husband required, the trips to the pharmacy took up a lot of my time. When Rusty was at the pain clinic at Stanford, they suggested that we go to Leiter's Pharmacy because he needed a special compound. And my first visit there was a pleasure. They were very professional. They had no problem putting this medication together, and they even added grape flavor for Rusty. Needless to say, I switched all his medications to Leiter's Pharmacy. I've learned that Leiter's is a family-owned business since 1926. They started in Pismo Beach and then moved to San Jose in 1952. It was a good year. Today, Morton and his son Charles, Leiter, third generation, provide excellent pharmaceutical care and special compounding on a national-wide basis. Leiter's Pharmacy, as well as the wellness community, understands their clients. They both have high standards and are able to relieve some of the stress for their patients and caregivers. Thank you, Leiter's Pharmacy, for your long-term commitment to our community and for doing it with dignity and grace. Will you please come with me and welcome Morton and Charles Leiter to accept the 2008 Gold Standard Award.
Beautiful. Go ahead. No.
They're very humble.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We are very honored to be the recipient of this, and thank you very much.
One of the things that we wanted all of you to feel tonight was a real sense of community, and having so many of you having had some shared experiences, we thought it would be really wonderful to get so many of you together. I do want to acknowledge that one of the things I didn't anticipate, and for those of you who are going through treatment and still came out tonight, we really, really appreciate that, and we're with you. A couple quick things before we get started so this all makes some sense. We started, I actually forget, I think it was June or July, and asked people to nominate caregivers. And so we went to all of our friends, went to family. You'll actually see some of them up here tonight. Yes. And had lots of people, actually even more than we expected, nominate people. I do want to just also say that one of the things, just from personal experience, and Steve alluded to it earlier this evening, was that our experience has been that caregivers are some of the least served people in our community. And so that's part of the reason we wanted to honor all of you tonight. One of the things that we didn't recognize was that you are an extremely humble group. And we had to actually get a whole bunch of you to agree to even come because you didn't do it to receive awards. So to calm everybody's nerves, and this is a little different way to do an award ceremony, we are going to deliver the award to the person at their table. So everybody can relax, and you're all dispersed, so everybody's going to have an honoree somewhere near them.
Our first honoree was nominated by Modestine Fain, who described Linda as dedicated, hard worker, compassionate. Linda Ankeny currently serves as the Director of Oncology Services at Good Samaritan Hospital. Linda also played an integral role in the development of cancer services at Community Hospital of Los Gatos. She has been involved in the development of oncology nursing proficiency, chemotherapy training, community programs, education, and support groups. By preparing nursing staffs and supporting community education, Linda enhances the lives of both the caregiver and the cancer patient. Linda is quiet about her work and doesn't like to bring attention to herself, which makes her accomplishments all the more noteworthy. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda Ankeny.
She's down the center aisle in the back there. Our second honoree is Mervat Hamad, who is nominated actually by a whole family because she was in the special position of caring for the mom and also the nominator, Marianne Carr's sister. And the words that they used to nominate Mervat were that she's sunshine, she's devoted, and she's passionate. And she has the gift of treating patients and their families with such dignity while caring for their most challenging needs. Thank you very much.
Our next honoree was nominated by Allie Myers, who described her husband in these words: devoted, loving, present. Adam Myers was the first person his wife turned to when she was diagnosed with cancer. Together, they researched doctors, made difficult treatment decisions, faced surgery and therapies that would turn their life upside down. Nevertheless, Adam did everything in his power to make Allie feel hopeful, cared, and strong. Adam was an unwavering presence and made a commitment to her wellness, and that she believes that Adam was in large part responsible for her survival. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Myers.
For those of you that may have noticed, a very lovely dressed Hawaiian group. They're honoring their nominee, which Luana Rivera Palacio was nominated by her husband Davidson Young. And actually, they probably both should be nominated because they did a phenomenal job caring for Luana's mom. We have a whole table full of family members there to honor both Luana for the care that she provided, taking many months off of work to help her mom.
When her husband, Herb, was diagnosed with prostate cancer and cancer of the esophagus, Marcia courageously stepped up to lead her family in responding to the illness. Walking alongside Herb through every step of the treatment process, Marcia thoroughly educated herself on how to care and support her husband. She serves as a tremendous example of how best to provide care for someone battling a cancer diagnosis. A shining example of selfless love and commitment to her children, friends, and family. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcia Wadley.
Cherished is the word friends use to describe Bob's relationship with his wife. He cherished her above all and helped create a path towards healing with gradual and meaningful goals. All the while, she had his gentle hand to guide her. So we're happy to celebrate Bob Albrecht.
Paul Gardner's life changed overnight when his beloved son Michael was diagnosed with brain cancer. Paul had been a volunteer with the American Cancer Society, driving cancer patients to their treatments. Paul continued his volunteer activities for a while, but eventually his efforts were concentrated on finding the best treatment available to save his son's life. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Gardner.
Noma is the Breast Cancer Connections Manager of Medical Information Services. And what Noma does, and for those of you that are perhaps not familiar with the Breast Cancer Connections, it's in Palo Alto, and they do a phenomenal job of providing resources to women going through treatment. And I know that partly what Noma does is to help give specific information to individuals about their cases and addresses their personal concerns at a level that they can easily understand. And I know for so many of you, that information can be so intimidating and the diagnoses can be so scary, and she helps people through that process. So Noma, we really appreciate you and congratulations.
As devoted, compassionate, spiritual. Jeannie Caton is a massage therapist who provides much-needed stress reduction and calming influence in the stressful lives of many cancer patients. Jeannie provides more than massage to her clients. She's an integral part of the community offered by Hospice of the Valley, where her depth of awareness and support go far beyond expectations. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeannie Caton.
She committed her positive attitude and skills to care for her best friend and mother, Mary Marchese, over a 2-year period. Mary Marchese's problems were not immediately diagnosed as cancer, so Helen's first priorities were to find the best medical team to identify her mother's troubles. Helen is a role model to all of us with her compassion and determination to make the best of each situation.
As a registered nurse at O'Connor Hospital, Sister Patrice Kulik listens with compassion and treats the whole body, the whole person, mind and spirit. The care that Sister Patrice provides doesn't end with hospitalization. After work, Sister Patrice will go beyond the call of duty to visit and support the cancer patients and grieving families in their homes. She maintains strong relationships with patients and families and is admired for the comfort, kindness, and knowledge that she provides. Sister Patrice Kulik.
Our next honoree was not able to be with us this evening, but she was nominated by Maureen Casey, and Becky was nominated for the care that she provided her husband during his 3-year battle with cancer. and we'll be making sure that Becky gets her award personally delivered.
Our next honoree was nominated by Michelle Liu, who described Joma as awe-inspiring, phenomenal, and caring. I met this gentleman earlier this evening. He is awe-inspiring. When you meet Joma, you can see that there is something special about him. His effortless generosity of spirit inspires all those around him. Joma supported and encouraged his wife, young wife, Dee, during her 12-year battle with kidney cancer. He was at her side as her friend, partner, caregiver, helping her with medications, treatments, driving her to appointments, sitting next to her during her hospice care, and keeping her spirits by sharing his infectious sense of humor. He took care of their pets, their home, kept friends and family posted on how she was doing, and most importantly, he made sure Dee knew she was loved. Joma continued to fulfill her wishes by establishing a fund in her name, which is based on Dee's desire to assist other young people living with cancer to pursue a higher education. Ladies and gentlemen, Joma Briones.
Contacted Dr. Horst and said, well, I see everything that you've written about Dr. Durbus, but do you think you could see if I could get a quote from a patient to add to it? And so she, along with some other colleagues, and I knew because of patient confidentiality, I couldn't know their names, so they did it internally, and I was flooded within about a day with about 12 messages from women from all different cities beyond the Bay Area who just went on and on about what wonderful care they had received from Dr. Durbus. And one patient remarked, he gives his patients the greatest comfort level that I've ever felt from a surgeon. Dr. Durbus has a unique mixture of sensitivity for his patients' suffering as well as the expertise to address the alarming diagnosis of cancer. He makes each individual feel important and has helped many women during their difficult course of diagnosis and treatment of breast cancer. Thank you, Dr. Durbus.
Maybe it was Janet Riddell's experience as a library administrator and her organization skills that enabled her to become her husband Hugh's champion when he was diagnosed with multiple cancers. Janet assists with research and analysis, selection of the medical team, and treatment for her husband's complex condition. She accompanied him to every doctor's visit, chemotherapy session, and with him in the hospital. She made their home more comfortable for Hugh so that he may enjoy his favorite books, TV shows, and photography interests. In addition, she rallied friends and family so that her husband was showered with encouragement of all kinds. She truly understands the power of social networking. Janet Riddell.
Is a social worker who empowers her patients and their families by informing them of patients' rights to self-determination and by educating them to take responsibility for their treatments. Holly works with culturally diverse patients and their families to deal with medical coverage and transportation issues. She refers patients to home health and hospice care, grief and bereavement counseling, financial assistance, and community resources. She directs patients to resources for wigs, medical equipment, legal services, and cancer support in multiple languages. She also interprets documentation for non-English speaking patients. Holly is with Valley Medical, and we really appreciate the job that you do.
Nancy Barnicoat was Mike O'Kane's companion, confidant, and teammate in life until he lost his battle with cancer. Nancy was fully aware of the circumstances of Mike's illness, but never stopped believing he could beat the odds and come out a survivor. She really believed that. She was that positive. She took on Mike's mantra that in the toughest times you suit up and show up. In the absurdity of his illness, she was unselfish, tireless, and meticulous in gathering every bit of information about his cancer. Administering his medications, being loving and caring, while at the same time keeping her sense of humor. Ladies and gentlemen, Nancy Barnicoat, right here.
Dr. Lai is a geriatrician at Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, and he was awarded a grant from the California Healthcare Foundation in partnership with the California Coalition for Compassionate Care, and it's a program called POLST. POLST stands for Physician's Order for Life-Sustaining Treatment. So if you understand where that's going, that in a very life-threatening time, a physician can listen to the patient and the family, and the doctor can help write physician's orders according to those wishes. In California, this is one of the pilot programs, and it's been under the leadership of Dr. Lai, and I think it's going to help very, very many patients, and we appreciate your hard work. Thank you.
Holly Gautier works at the Stanford Cancer Center. Holly works to make the center and its services as user-friendly as possible for patients to enable them to negotiate what can be an arduous system at a very stressful time. One patient's family member was quoted in saying, "Whenever my late husband saw Holly in the lobby, she would drop everything she was doing and come over to visit us." She was both gracious and a wonderful listener. You would feel like nothing else mattered to her but you. Ladies and gentlemen, Holly Gautier.
As a nurse, Elizabeth has given herself to patients and families in helping to coordinate their care, listening to their concerns and fears, explaining treatments, following up, and providing support during their cancer journey. Patients have commented that she is truly an outstanding nurse. During the past year, however, her role changed when both her father and her husband were diagnosed with cancer. She was a lioness for her husband, Joe, acting as his advocate, making sure he got the test, medication, and care needed. Elizabeth went to work every day trying to make the days as normal as possible for her husband and children, and she shared insights from her own experiences with coworkers who felt it helped make them better caregivers. And sadly, since the time we received the nomination form, Joe Betancourt has passed away. The wellness community cares about not only the caregiver, but the whole family, including the kids. So.
Erin Brennick took charge throughout her father's terminal illness by becoming his advocate and advisor. She was level-headed, focused, and selfless in her caregiving. She was also optimistic, no matter what the prognosis, and injected humor and levity in a warm and compassionate way. Erin's mother's high-stress job at one of the Silicon Valley's largest high-tech firms made it difficult for her to take enough time off to handle all the necessary travel to get Erin's father the medical attention he needed. So Erin took the necessary time off work and committed the past year to doing whatever was needed to be done to ensure proper care for her father. Erin Brennick.
She really listens to her patients' needs and helps them find a way to cope with pain and the other challenges of a cancer patient. She also listens to patients' primary caregivers because she knows that a person is with the patient 24/7 and knows him or her better than anyone else. She is not only a great caregiver, but is knowledgeable about medications and symptoms. She makes her patients feel that they are being cared for and protected. And most importantly, Karen lets cancer patients know that she is truly interested in letting them live the rest of their lives, however long or short, with dignity and grace. And there are four kinds of people in the world: those who have been caregivers, those who currently are caregivers, those who will need caregivers, and those who will be caregivers. So tonight, I hope that you have all been part of this community to help us celebrate and honor all those people who've been in those roles, and all the survivors who are with us tonight, all the people who are here and fighting treatment. We're just so pleased. I know I can speak for the whole board. Happy to have you here. So as part of our final tribute, we are we want to show a small video clip, because the reason that so many of us got involved in this is because we were so motivated by our friend Pamela Hammer and the care and love that she provided for our friend Rusty. And we can't say it in better words than Rusty did himself.
This will be one of the most difficult presentations that I've given in nearly 40 years of making speeches publicly. Those of you who know me know that I'm a pretty emotional guy, and that there will be moments that my emotions will overtake me, and I'll just ask you to bear with me. I say to you without reservation that I would not be here tonight without my dear wife, Pamela. I would not have survived my battle with cancer. She has been a caregiver 24 hours a day. She has been my advocate in every sense of the word, my true angel from heaven. And I thank her, and I thank you for recognizing her as you have.
Pam had the good fortune of not attending one of our board meetings where the board voted to present this award to her and her family. It is an award that is going to be given annually, hopefully at these dinners with all your help and your contributions over the years.
I was introduced to the wellness community in Southern California. My husband was diagnosed with leukemia and was in the hospital 302 days the first year. And I was beside myself as a caregiver, thinking about our future, and we took a pamphlet from the hospital, and Karen Story, my good friend, took me to the wellness community, and they talked to me. They have licensed practitioners, family therapists, and it was a very calming, soothing experience. The wellness community is about taking care of the soul, the person with all this trauma that's going on in their life. It's helping the family and the patient survive this as best they can, empower themselves to do as best they can. It's a new journey, a new experience, a new you, and they're helping you do that. So along with the doctors that treat you, the wellness community helps you as a person. I'm thrilled to bring it here to Silicon Valley.